and hence the immigration levels are massive. However, we're not dying fast enough across the world, so they want to speed up the process. And you can't tell the children, so you mustn't tell them any truth. You must say it's all so strange that these cancers are affecting everyone and everyone's dying. And that'll be taught. It's just a new happening.
Well, they're saying that. They're saying you're all just going to die of cancer and you're all just going to die of diabetes, and doesn't matter what you do, just take your shot and you're going to die, and there's going to be lots of deaths, and yeah, it's a live virus, and yeah, you're going to die, but it wasn't the vaccine, but it does say on the insert it may kill you. Yep. And this Gardasil is going to kill you, but it doesn't protect you from the cancer, but it will give you cancer, but everything's fine. And they just throw it all out there, and it's like the public really is in a trance. Now, more and more of them are starting to wake up. So the establishment's program is to shock us even more and pile on, hoping people just give up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a technique. They give you the dialectical process, the pros and the cons. They get you into a punch-drunk state, and you simply give up. And then you say, well, they can't be doing this for negative reasons to kill us, so I'll just go along with the rest of the public. That's how simple it is. People look around for a hero to follow, and if there's no heroes, they simply go along with the rest of the public and do what they do. That's what Huxley said himself.
Now let's talk about, in the short term, what their program is, long term, but also solutions, how you think this battle's going to shake out, and what things will look like if they win. Any other important angles Alan Watt wants to cover, and then your phone calls. That'll take us in lots of interesting random directions. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Everything we said came true. Everything we've done's been right.
All right, Alan, I'm going to shut up for this rest of this segment before we go to calls. Getting into what their current operation is, what you think's happening with the flu, those new World Health Organization documents you have, they're up on cuttingthroughthematrix.com. And some news about how we beat these people. You know, there is a big awakening happen. So that collision between people that want freedom and decent humanity and for honorableness to be held up, and those that want death and destruction.
Well, I think the people first have to understand that they're not dealing with democratic institutions. You're dealing with people with an agenda who are all pre-chosen before they get into politics. They're trained into their roles, and they're all on board with this agenda. So technically there's no negotiation with them, to be honest with you. The only thing that's left outside of outright revolution is for large groups of people to literally hit them economically. For instance, as an example, the nurses of New York State have been told that they're going to be fired if they don't take this swine flu shot. My suggestion to them is for them to walk off en masse and just walk out the hospital en masse for a day or two, and you'll see the howls and the screams as those guys want you to bring you to the negotiating table. That these are the only kinds of strategies left for people outside revolution. And the boys at the top know this because they've been setting up internal armies and securities for 20 years for this particular time that we're going through now. They knew this time would come. So, to be honest, there's no easy way out of this. This is life or death situations that we're going through right now. They have their depopulation program. The World Health Organization at their meeting in 2006, their world meeting, stated that if they can get the public to accept mandatory inoculation for one thing, then they can introduce more mandatory inoculations every year for the rest of the adult's life, including annual boosters for every shot they've ever had. We're going to be toxic laboratories, walking out laboratories, walking test tubes with recombinant DNA all getting together and killing us all the quicker through cancers. They know this at the top. So the thing is, you can't take a step forward to negotiate. What you say is no. That's the word we're going to relearn, is no, and say, no, I'm not taking this. I don't care what you want to do with me, because you're going to kill me anyway. So I'm not taking this shot. And people have got to start regaining their individual rights and freedoms. If you don't fight for them, you don't have any. You can't write something on a piece of paper and go back to sleep thinking it's all done. And even the founding fathers of the U.S. said that every generation would have to fight to keep it. And they've been lulled into sleep by, again, propaganda and experts. We're the experts. We're in
And Alan,
don't get involved. So we have to say no to everything that's coming down the pike. No, that's all we have left.
And Alan, continuing on the flu front, they're now ordering kids to go to school to take it. No law, they just do it. Yes. Clinics all over the country are saying take it or we'll call CPS on you. No law, they just do it. Yep. We're seeing the real tyranny, and they're bragging that they're setting the precedent to force over 56 vaccine boosters, so that's now in the hundreds, every couple of years, of meningitis shots, hepatitis shots, the AIDS vaccine. And Bill Gates has now bragged, and it's in the Associated Press, when he laughs, when he gives a speech, I found out we're giving people polio with the new vaccine. It happens to be live. Yep. And then the little elite clubs, they all giggle because the local good old boys, they're in on the fun.
That's right. That's Nigeria. Nigeria's now got a new evolved type of polio that they admit now at the World Health Organization came from the particular vaccine they were giving the people there. It's evolved into a new hyper polio that's rampaging through the public. It came from the vaccine. They admit it because you can actually
and now they admit in the mainstream literature that the live nasal vaccine is going to create hundreds of mutations and is what's spreading H1N1. So out in the open, they hit us with all the fools that are shooting it up their kids' nose, sneezing on everybody, and the public is so dumbed down they can't even understand it.
Yeah, again, they've been trained that experts don't lie, and we've had 50 years of training into this new type of system. The public can't believe. And that's as I say, you can get up the ladder, but until you literally cross the last rung and stand on it, you won't see the big picture. And the last rung is difficult. It's difficult to cross and say, they're not just talking about killing us, they have been killing us, and they want to kill more of us. When you really understand that, it's true, you'll see everything completely different from then on as to what you can do. So you can't negotiate with tyranny.
Well, the key here is they're not negotiating, they're not stopping. It's a power cult.
Yeah.
And we have to admit they're testing the soft kill now. Now, I want to talk some about solutions here, but everything you bring up just literally flags come up because it's all so accurate. Dealing with all of this and watching them kill us, and then all these little petty power people who don't even care if they're being killed themselves as long as they can kill people under them. It's very sick.
Yes. And again, too, they tested all out that Stanford is a big player in this. All the universities have their specialized areas in creating vaccines or bacterium or viruses for warfare purposes, but they're also into the social science and psychology. And Stanford is one of the prime universities for mass control, basically. They did the Milgard experiments on testing people's obedience to authority by shocking people, at least training people that they're actually shocking a victim on the other side of the glass. There were just actors on the other side of the glass, but they didn't know, and they go up to kill voltage on the dial there as long as someone above them took authority and responsibility for it. They know how to use the public against the public.
Yeah, 90%. You can take a farm boy, make him a cop. 6 months later, 90% in the Stanford research will put a gun to their mother's head and blow her brains across the room if someone in a uniform orders them to do it.
Yes, and it's true. See, these are old techniques that have been understood by the high, sciences and occult guys and masonry and so on at the top. You find in the riots of New York in 1800s that the mayor in the Tammany Hall riots, he said that we can always hire half the poor to kill the other half. That's what he said. They understand this, that money's the key. I can survive by getting money. I'll be on the winning side. They'll leave me alone. That's what they think until their usefulness is over, and then they're eliminated too.
Unbelievable. Alan, let's do this. Let's come back and take calls, and then at the end of the last segment, let's get into a little bit of solutions, but we're going to have you back up for more of that as well. But I guess what you're saying is the big solution is becoming aware of this matrix of propaganda and social engineering and really getting upset about it and really talking human to human about the ruling elite and their program for humanity, and ask the public, do you like being controlled? Do you like being poisoned? Do you like everybody being blubbery and bleached skin and unhealthy and zits all over the place? I mean, do you like being poisoned? Do you like half the kids in your neighborhood dead or dying of diseases or cancer? I mean, is this because it's only going to get worse. I mean, Is it fun? I mean, to cops out there, is the petty power, the petty manhood rituals, is it fun? Do you like being used? Are you going to serve this? 90% of you will, unless you are conscious of the manipulation. We'll be right back with Alan White.